Hello and thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. For access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Hello, checking in on the market. So headed into today with a very simple criteria, and highlighted in the video yesterday how the 4-hour time frame for QQQ was the most important for me. And it was very clear that if QQQ holds its 4-hour support, the S&P 500 bears are not going to get very far today. If that support breaks, then the door is wide open for the S&P 500 bears to take over. So, talked about yesterday in the video how I would be looking to buy that support with 5 and 15 minute RSI levels crushed when that support was tested. We ended up bouncing off of that level by 1 penny. Just looking at extended hours on QQQ, 190.71 was support. We hit the resistance, we bounced off of support by 1 penny, and now here we are in after hours, higher than where we closed. Microsoft, decent reaction to earnings, not very significant, but Tesla had a huge beat. It's up big after hours. SPY's up after hours. QQQ's up after hours. So, bulls held support, which means don't be looking too bearish because we did not break our key support level. So the 4-hour most likely scenario, which is the equilibrium, is playing out. And you better believe that we're going to be looking for a potential bearish entry tomorrow. I would love to see the bulls get as exhausted as possible, heading straight up to 194.42 resistance. And if we reject from that level, then we'll look for a pullback and a higher low. So if we reject from resistance on this QQQ 4-hour time frame, we could stay within this 4-hour equilibrium into Monday. So could break any day from here on out, but that's what we're watching. And again, SPY bulls are not going to get very far if QQQ rejects from this resistance and stays in this tightening pattern. Another thing that I said to myself is I'm going to slow down my trading as long as we're in this equilibrium, because as long as we're in tightening ranges, the trading opportunity shrinks a good bit, and we want to see a break of this tightening range to see that volatility come back. So SPY today bounced from its low pre-market. We knew we were extended midday, pretty much at 11.50. I said, we know that we're coming straight off the low. We know we need an hourly trend change for the bulls to prove anything to us. I would not be surprised to see hourly consolidation today. So we bounced, we saw hourly higher low form, and then the bull move at the end of the day changed the hourly trend, keeping the bulls confident. And we're looking right back at the all-time high. We knew not to go very bearish because the daily uptrend is still intact at this point. So if I'm going to be bearish this market, I have to see QQQ break that 4-hour equilibrium. I have to see SPY break 296.99, and that's only going to keep me short-term bearish because I would still anticipate staying in the weekly equilibrium at that point. So, IWM. IWM, brief little pullback, still very healthy. Anything above 151.45 is a daily high or low. It's a potential bull flag at this point, and the bulls are going to have to see a break of 154, make that 155.05 if we are going to see a bull flag confirmed on the daily time frame. XLF. So XLF held on just fine. We held that low of the last 2 days to 28.33 and 34. We held that support by a couple pennies. So again, if we're not going to break that support, SPY bears aren't going anywhere. So an inside bar day, bulls want to break 28.61 and 28.67 for a clear bull break. And that's the goal for the bulls tomorrow in after hours right now. XLF is only slightly higher, still under that resistance. XLV held on, low of yesterday. We closed right at the low. We held that level by a penny. Really nice plays off supports on QQQ, XLV, on XLF. Everybody held their lows of yesterday, most names. So daily inside bar on XLV, keeping the bulls with momentum in their favor. Biotech sector closed weak, so that's a difference. Daily higher low is looking to form on XBI compared to 77.79, and bulls will look for the daily uptrend to remain as we have a good bit of space to form that daily higher low. I keep looking out of the corner of my eye because I'm watching Tesla after hours, which is running hard. I've been shorting it on the 1 minute time frame, and of course right when I gave up shorting it, our top was hit. But essentially what I was doing is every time we hit a new high, I would short it and cover on the 1 minute exponential support. And then, so we break 306. I shorted this one at 308.01. Covered when I saw no bear follow through at 307.50. Very tiny gains, just trying to get the top. And of course, right when we get the top and we lose the 1 minute 12 period exponential support, I had just given up. So we'll see if the Tesla bulls can hold that gain into tomorrow. The VIX is still weak. Our top of this bull move was 1520. We topped out at 1510 today. We're looking right back at our base of support. If the S&P 500 gets an all-time high, if QQQ breaks that 4-hour equilibrium bullish, we will look for the VIX to break this support level. And there is a lack of support until the $11.70 to $12 range below 1330. Gold still sideways. Again, I don't care what gold's doing in this range. I care what the miners are doing. One range, one day, and that range we have been trading within it now for 8 days in a row. Silver sideways. Miners, daily higher low established. So low, high of the bounce, higher low held by 1 penny, and now the bulls must break 29.24 to change the daily trend and start the potential bull break of this falling wedge. That being said, even if we get a daily trend change here, I will be skeptical of these bulls if the S&P 500 is not showing us weakness. If I'm going to be real confident in bull miners, I need a break of 29.54, make that 29.24 to change the daily trend. I need the S&P 500 to lose its daily higher low pattern. That would make me confident. So if we do not see SPY weakness, it's going to be hard for me to be confident in the bull miners just because that inverse correlation has been so significant in the last couple months. Oil bull break today on the back of the inventory report. So we had these little daily higher lows. We were watching for the weekly bear flag. Bull break of one level yesterday, and then bulls followed through and said bear flag on the weekly is now less likely thanks to this extra leg up, which just creates more space for the bulls to work with. And if we look at the move from 633, make that 63.33, the Iran top, and the bottom of 50.97, the midway point there is about $57. So we haven't gotten exactly to the midway point, but if we get one more dollar, that's a 50% retracement, and that rules out a bear flag for me. It's already ruling out a bear flag because of the size of the bounce comparative to the size of the drop. And natural gas, did we change the 4-hour trend? That's what we needed for the bulls. We had our high, higher low, rejection. Could not change the 4-hour trend. The bears rejected from resistance. So now we have a daily inside bar. Inside bar has to break bullish. Inventory report tomorrow. It has to break bullish for our right shoulder to be forming and for us to be looking back at 237.6 and 238.4. If the inside bar breaks bearish, it's going to decrease the odds of the inverse head and shoulders pattern forming on the daily time frame. So that's where we stand. Keeping an eye on QQQ for a bearish entry tomorrow with a resistance play of 194.42. Something to keep in mind. The more extended on the hourly time frame to get there, the better as far as bulls wearing themselves out before we even get to resistance. And 4-hour equilibrium on QQQ is the most important short-term indicator on any chart in this market that I'm watching right now. And that will change in a couple days, but for now, that's where we stand. Hope you're well. We'll see you soon. So over the summer, I had a friend help me weeding, and he got to this spot right here and he cleared it out and he left one little dinky tomato plant that was there on its own. We didn't plant it. And I thought, okay, it's too late in the season, won't get anything out of it, but might as well let it grow. So a lot of people would look at this and say, wow, that's one giant weed coming up in the middle of your bushes, when in reality, we're now getting some really nice cherry tomatoes in mid-October that I'm eating on. So the lesson and takeaway from me is, number one, let things do their thing. Speaking of which, this plant is a monster. Forget what that is off the top of my head, but there is some benefit to it. Have to double check that. But also, this next summer, I mean, it's what, mid-October, and these are still going. I'm going to plant 2 waves of tomatoes, so I don't just have a ton of tomatoes all at once, and I have to store them all. I'll be able to grow half of my tomatoes early, and then I'll start half of them a month later, and just stagger the harvest of tomatoes that I'll have all summer and fall.